Okay.
I will always
Wonderful. Thank you
break
so
in for
much.
that. Sorry.
No worries. Anything for our valued patrons, as they commonly say. But yeah, we often discussed, I think, before the races. I mean, you were like, oh, I don't know about the Audi, I don't know about the Porsche, so on and so forth at this circuit. What do you reckon? Um,
Dark horse
in
here
terms of,
times three. Yes, you are, Senna.
oh yeah,
Wrecking
we were seeing.
wise, let me see. Let me rewind that. Start again. Darshak
Mhm.
is definitely one on my watch list, along with Brunshade. Again, um,
Okay.
both of them are very quick. We also had a quick Lamborghini as well with Brenham during free practice, so we'll have to
Oh yeah,
wait
for
and
sure.
see. All those guys were in the low 218s. One of them was in a 217, but I'm not going to tell you who. So I
Indeed.
think we do have the makings for a very good and close race. And even though it's only 30 minutes, I think we'll see some good, solid driving from these guys.
Indeed, we will. So, qualifying has now officially commenced. The servers had to be restarted by the moderators several times. So, currently, at the moment, on board with Jay Damien in the number 15 Audi, who's just exited the pit lane, now onto the Camel Straight for their outlap, as it's called. So, um, with a lot of the cars at the moment currently going out, they're really ducking and weaving left and right to get those temperature into those tires. Obviously, Spa's a long lap, and it's quite easy to invalidate here. A lot of the curbs here, especially through turns 10, 11, and 12, is extremely easy to invalidate if I'm on board with Alexic. If we look at the curb that I think that is Jay Damien going past now, if you touch that curb, that is that's an immediate invalidation. And for someone who's driving here on our open nights every Wednesday and every Friday, I was driving here even yesterday. It was quite hard to really put a lap together because Spa is such a long lap, and as we're seeing, one of the contenders for pole, A Petit, has been disqualified by qualifying. So that's the number 97 McLaren. His qualifying done, and I'm not too sure why that is. Presumably, that is disqualifying due to the fact of returning to the pit lane. Obviously, we know from the driver briefing that you cannot do that whatsoever. You've got to manually do so unless you physically cannot go to the pit lane. But yeah, that's a real shame because APT is a very strong driver both in our sprint and endurance series. But now the only thing they can do now is watch. Saying that though, Jay Damien on board with them in the number 15 Audi just goes a bit deep into the bus stop chicane, though starts their flying lap, as they say. But currently going through La Source, Jay Damien is, and we'll go for a bit of a tour. And now gets a decent exit. You want to get either a tight line or you want to get a very wide line, but carry the acceleration in. Now going through turns 3, 4, 5, the most iconic part here at Spa, Eau Rouge. Now, this is not Eau Rouge, this is Ralliant. That's an invalidation for sure. He's just gone over the curb at the
Oh,
moment,
you'd
so
be
that's really
surprised.
unfortunate.
You would be surprised with that
Slowing
one.
down. He is slowing down, so that is an immediate invalidation. Alesic in the number 10 Ferrari, though, has got the slipstream off of Jay Damien, uses it. He's gone off to the side, luckily, to not hinder anyone on his lap. And Alesic in the number 10 Ferrari going through Le Combs and will have, most likely, if they don't invalidate, the first time. And we were seeing that they were provide not too badly in free practice, so it'll be quite good. Ooh, I think that is a bit of an invalidation. That's through turns 10
Let me
and
see.
11.
Yes, he's invalidated.
That has to be
Yep.
because that you can have 2 wheels off of that curb, but all 4, it's like, yeah, you can get the speed, but that is a genuine validation. Stashak, though, I think the only individual who hasn't invalidated. We're getting some.
No, we got plenty. At the moment we got plenty. We've got Brenham. Actually, let me find Brenham because should be.
Brenham just going through turns 13 and now 14. So just finished sector 2, just coming up to the sector detector, as I like to call it, from 15 to 16, and now through Coubray-Polfer, and now through Blanchemont, as they say. I'm not too sure who they is, but I commonly use the expression, so I'm just gonna keep doing that till I find something new. Not many lap times, even though Alesic in the number 10 Ferrari is just coming across the line at the moment. That is an invalidation. If that was an invalidation, this is from him touching the curbs through turns 19 and 20.
Is coming in right now, so he'll be the first one. And he posts a 2:18.1. Brennan posts a 2:18.6.
That's really impressive. That is faster than I could do on anything,
nice.
Really.
Dazak has the best
good times
in the first sector and the third, and Brenham has the better sector 2. So it really is one to watch. We've just had
V Stout
come across on a 2:24.
Saying that though, M. Jones goes 5 seconds faster in the number 9 Ferrari, 1.61 seconds away from pole position, presumably looking to improve that. There is a yellow flag through the start-finish line, and that is T. Mortadella. His Audi, the number 32 Audi, parked on the side. Is that a game crash? Nope, he's gone moving again, so I guess he was waiting for individuals to move. I mean, he could have started the lap, but his tires must be absolutely freezing at this point. You can look how early he's braking with that. So, yeah, that's a 48-second field spread at the moment, so presumably he had gone off and was waiting for other cars to pass. But yeah, I thought he was starting his lap. I'm like, well, no, you can't do that. Your tires are absolutely freezing at that point.
He can warm them up quick enough, no doubt.
Yeah, that's I think that 48-second field spread at the moment from 1st to 5th is non-representative, as we're going to see times getting much, much, much faster for sure, because as the track rubbers in and as the fuel burns here.
The track is actually quite cold today. We're only on 27 degrees. We are on a 6 o'clock at the moment here in Spa, so we know the temperatures are actually going to be going down during the race, not up. So, yes, Dan.
What's that going to mean for?
Dazak is the guy who runs the driving school. Yes, he does. That comes up later. Don't worry, we get that in. We've been told. Got to get that in.
Indeed. If you'd like to compete with all of these individuals here at the Sprint and Endurance Series, it is free to sign up for. You can do so, but if you want to get to the level of the top guys, saying that though, if you don't want to be like Kay Flores in the number 44 Porsche who's just gone off at turn 16, then you should definitely sign up to the JL Motorsports driving school. It's free. It's free of cost. It will only cost one thing, and that is your time. Speaking of which, though, as the times go on, we do have the Brunschitz in the number 17 McLaren. So one of the individuals you were keeping your eye on, 2/10 away from pole position, and quite literally very close to them physically on track as well. Not only on the timing sheets.
We've got the top 5 now. We're all on 2:19s. The top 6 are all under 2:19s. So the times are starting to drop down.
The track is slowly getting rubbered in. The fuel is now burning, and it is getting better and better and better. Because keep this in mind, Spa's a long lap. You're only gonna get. There's only like 11 minutes in qualifying. You may get 5 or 6 laps at most if you're not going to change tires, whatnot. So we are really going to see, I think, a lot of consistent running. We're going to see individuals go for 2, 3, 4, 5 laps at a time, because if you are going to pit at Spa, you're going to compromise yourself. And Spa is such a long lap. It's not like Monza where you can cut, the first turn. If you invalidate, you can cut a lot of corners to just
sorry to
get through.
interrupt. I'm just watching Stazak. The moment he's 3/10 up on his time, so we might actually have 2:17 here if he can keep it up. He's coming through the bush stop.
That is pedal to the metal. Is that invalidation? I don't think so. That was only 2 wheels off track. Yeah, that is a 2:17 fine.
5. So yeah, Stazak's broke the 2:17 first. That's good.
That is half a second faster than Brunschitz, who's currently just across the line now. That's Brunschitz is about a 2:18 flat, around about there.
2:18.1, and
2:18.1
is 2:18.2.
Indeed, and we're really seeing the competitiveness of these guys ramp up, because Spa is a circuit you want to get pole position at. It's not difficult to pass, but it will make your life a hell of a lot easier when you go up through Eau Rouge first and you don't have the chaos that is the back. I don't think in any kind of case that you don't have a chaotic Eau Rouge, especially with these GT cars where you're having a rolling start and you're going up Eau Rouge. So hopefully it's going to be clean. Like we did see a little bit of Monza, it was a bit chaotic, but now I think it's, especially with these extra practice sessions on the Wednesdays, on the Fridays, which again, they are free to join, and especially with loads of new members signing up with the JL Motorsports Driving School, improving their skills through our driver victory gin, we are seeing a lot more clean racing, so hopefully even staying at the back won't be the worst option. Plus you get this really cool thing. It's not DRS though, as Diallo corrected me yesterday as he was taking the mick out of me on stream. It is slipstream. So it'll be quite good to see that going on the Kemmel Straight. But 8 minutes and 30 seconds in qualifying at the moment. What's your current take, Diallo?
I'm quiet, because I've just lost something. I've just lost a brain cell. The final brain cell's just left the body. Okay, so...
Have you lost it in sector 1, 2, or 3? Let me know.
It's in... I would probably say it's in sector 2, because that's where I always lose it, actually. Always lose it in sector 2.
We'll see if we can get H. Walton and number 8 Bentley 6.1 seconds back to get it for you. How's that? Or you have a choice between the Bentley, the Audi, or the Ferrari. But speaking of which, yeah, what's your current I guess view on this entire qualifying session in specifics to the drivers and the timings, whatnot?
Well, looking at the live timings here, most people, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're all under 220s, and then we're up to Mortadelli up on a 306. So really, midfield is going to be good. I think we're going to have some close racing in midfield, definitely some close racing at the front, but it depends on whether Stazak pulls away quickly or not. That's going to be
Stazak.
Yeah, if he can get a good clean start, then he's away.
Indeed, but you have to take into account the first lap
Mortadelli,
with the slipstream.
Sorry, Mortadelli has just put in a 221. So that's a better lap for him. So we're actually now only 7 seconds between first and, at the moment, Mr. Landman in 15th. So
am I the only one who wants to crack a Mr. Sandman joke?
Probably,
but
yes.
doesn't. Mr.
Right.
Landman, give me a dream. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Oh,
Make
please,
Paul
can I mute
seem
him?
as
Please, can I mute him?
Nah,
No,
I'm kidding.
today, times aren't as close today. Well, it depends because, like I say, we've got that little two-way split from first to seventh, eighth to eighth. We're under 220. Admittedly, it's 3 seconds spread there. And then from there, we've got a 221 up to a 224. So another 3 seconds spread. So, even though they're not nip and tuck, over them spreads, people are reasonably close. Kazak's on a 217, half a second quicker than Brunschitz, who's now on his lap. Brenham is 6/10. Then we go to Jones, who's 1.4 seconds. So I believe we're going to see some close racing, but it's going to be spread out. So it's going to keep me very busy today.
Indeed, and that's what we love, close racing and wheel-to-wheel battle, especially at Spa, where they've got to really use every inch of the circuit to their advantage. As I previously mentioned, with spread out but close racing, those little pockets of racing, almost like an indirect classing, as it is in GT racing, in endurance racing, where you'll have individuals who are at the front, in the middle, at the back, if that makes sense. So almost like iRacing score, the safety rating in certain classes and whatnot. So it'll be quite interesting. There'll be lots of mini battles going on track instead of just one primary battle, which is what we like to see. These little battles, these little stories off the track.
Where's my little friend today? Mr. Ludder. At the minute, he's done it again to me. I was watching him in free practice, and he was pulling a 219. Right now, unfortunately, he's running on a 222. Now we know he can do 3 seconds quicker. He really needs to. What's the expression I'm looking for? Calm down on race day. Because he's putting the times in.
That's one big thing.
Outside of race day, but as soon as we get into qualifying, he's 3 seconds off, and I was hoping he was going to be there today. I was hoping he was going to be up there in top 5.
That's one big thing, though, with them loader.
We have had some changes up front. We have got Brenham now on a 217.85. So that's only 2/10 off the leader. Mr. Galley, car number 11, is on a 218.087, so half a second. And then Brunschitz at half a second as well, but a couple of hundredths away from Galley. So the times are starting to drop. We are now under-ish. We will be in a moment. That's it. 217. Right, that's it. We got the quickest, so we're going to be watching these laps just to see who can go. My poor mathematics, though, is going to go through the roof. There's me saying about Loader. He must be listening to me because he's a second up at the moment. Who else is there? Brenham.
The commentator's blessing, shall we say, instead of the commentator's curse.
Well, today,
but
not bad today. We've got Brenham is 3/10 up. So
Loader shoots up to 12th place. So
watch Brenham. Is he going to be the dark horse and come through at the last moment? He's 4/10 up.
We're looking at him now. So he is technically on pole position with his net time gain at the moment, but as we're standing, the last laps are really coming in now. If anyone's going to make a dash to pole position, it's got to be now. There's about a minute and 18, 17, 16, 15, 14 seconds as we're watching Brenham going through turns 18, now 19 to the bus stop chicane. How late do you dare to brake? It's not too bad for Brenham through the bus stop chicane. Very smoothly that Lamborghini handles as he goes through the line. What's it going to be for Brenham? And that is...
Oh my lord.
24 milliseconds. He's got one more opportunity during this flying lap, so he is on a flying lap, so technically he can do it. So that might just be the last of his fuel burnt off. He is going full speed, so technically it's not over for the Lamborghini driver yet. So he has one more shot, but that is maybe it in terms of qualifying.
Next,
so there's no more extra laps.
The line is Damon. Doesn't manage, but he's got another lap as well. And Stazak coming up. Oh, look at that for
It's going to be interesting.
So this is going to be a shootout between Stazak and Brenham at the moment.
Stazak going across the line.
He doesn't improve.
Seem to improve. So he is just made it on his qualifying lap. So he's got to go full speed no matter what. And I think this is where the strategy of the drivers have really come to fruition, because obviously, as mentioned, Spa's a long lap. You've only got, even in Formula 1 cars, only got so much time to do on these laps. So
but it's not
really
if they need to come into the pits for anything, that pit lane will just kiss it goodbye for your race. We're now out of time, so at the moment Brenham is...
Has he invalidated because he's just gone off
no,
four wheels off
he hasn't invalidated, okay. But he is slower.
So
Dazak's a bit quicker, and M. Jones, they're the only two at the moment who have shown quicker times. Everybody else, unfortunately, is not showing a quicker time. So let's go to Jones. See if he can
Jones
improve.
Is currently bus stop chicane. Ooh, because a bit wide there.
And he invalidated.
No,
he abandoned it at the last moment.
Has he abandoned that?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Brenham as well through the line now. Does he improve? Can he take pole position? Nope. He goes slower on intention and misses up by 24 milliseconds. Stazak as well.
For once, we actually witnessed Stazak going off. So whatever he's going to do now. So we now know who is who. We now have first is Stazak with a 217. Brenham is on a 217. Sorry, Stazak's on a 217.5. Brenham is on a 217.6. We then have another one on a 217, which is Galley, a little bit of a dark horse. And my changes, they've just bloody changed on me. All my numbers have just changed on me. Isn't that typical? Right, well, we got Stazak first, Brenham second, Galley third, Brunshade in fourth, Mills in fifth, Jones in sixth, yep, with the Ferrari. Then we got Simons again with another Ferrari. Misseria in a Bentley. Actually, we've got two Bentleys today. Eighth. Ninth is Damien. 10th is Alexei. Do you want to carry on now?
All right. 11th is T. Mortadella, the number 32 Audi. 12th is D. Ames, the number 96 Ferrari, who has requested in chat that we put their fastest time up. M. Loda, your favorite driver here in the number 71 Aston Martin is 13th. Can go faster in the race. Hopefully H. Walton in the number 8 Bentley is 14th. K. Flores is in the number 44. Porsche is 15th. V. Stout in the number 863. Lamborghini is 16th. L. Landman in the number 95 McLaren is 17th. The safety car is on the grid, shouldn't be there, 18th. And A. Petit, who's disqualified in qualifying, starts dead last. So currently 3 minutes and 35 seconds till the grid happens. And for once, my game hasn't crashed. Wonderful. A list of miracles are happening today in the ACC world, and hopefully we're going to be seeing that in the race as well. No, we're not going to look at the tarmac. We're going to look at the beautiful skins, at the the beautiful liveries that the drivers
Well, we're not
have
even going to do
prepared.
that for a moment. We're actually going to go over to our sponsor, who Shiv is going to tell us all about.
Indeed. So our sponsor for today, and I guess for the foreseeable future, is JL Motorsports Driving School. Now, a lot of these individuals are doing ACC for fun, and it's great. But sometimes the competitive aspect really does come out, and you want to gain that time. You want to gain those tenths, those seconds, those even minutes in some occasions, including myself and Dielo's, because that's why that's the reason we're commentators instead of drivers. We are bad at driving. JL Motorsports Driving School only costs one thing, and that is your time. So that's going to be free classes, that is interactive classes on whatever car, whatever setup you want, whatever track you want, and best of all, as previously mentioned, it is free of cost. You want to join the Discord, you want to go to apply for coaching, list who you are, what kind of tracks you like, what kind of tracks you want to practice, and what kind of car you want to practice in. And therefore, we will get our coach, Victor Jin, who is participating in our races as well, particularly the endurance, where they had a very good showing last week around. And yeah, we have, I think, just everything generally to make a wonderful driving school. As previously mentioned, you should join the Discord if you're interested, and it is going to be, I think, wonderful for everyone. So that is JL Motorsports Driving School. Back to you, Dale.
Well, thank you very much. Well done there. You carried that one over, seeing as I just dropped it in your lap. Right. Unfortunately, I'm going to keep it there because we will be looking at the tarmac for the next minute and a half.
Instead, you can look at the Bentley and the logo. How's that? Is that a bit of an upgrade, Danny?
Yes, unfortunately. Reason I get into my car view. It wouldn't be...
Try return to garage. Try that.
anything. Oh, I can't. I've only got drive because I'm a spectator, so don't have to wait till the session actually starts before I can get in a car. So we'll think about that for next time. Actually, I'll have to make a note of that.
That'll be it. Indeed. So, 40 seconds till the session starts. I think in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. The drivers have now gotten in their cars. You can see a bit of a bounce on the cars, even though the JL Motorsports driving school is there, and they're now clicking on their wheels to reduce their brake bias or increase their brake bias. Setup changes are finalized. Hopefully everyone's gotten their fuel, their setups, and everything that they very well need. 10 seconds till it's green, and now a full formation lap commences. And we are green for the formation lap. So just waiting for the game to load. Sazak leads us away in the Porsche, followed by Brenham, followed by Galley, followed by Brunschitz, followed by Mills, followed by Jones, Simons, Missouri, Damien, Alsic, Mortadella, Dams, Loda, Walton, Flores, Stout, Landman, and A Petit. The safety car is going back into the pits. Shouldn't be there, just following behind in case there's any crashes and they have to potentially rescue the drivers. Hopefully there won't be any need for the safety car, but it's always good to have in motor racing. Currently,
we will stick with the safety car for a couple of moments because he's always wanted to have his 2 minutes in the fame. So there you go, you can have 2 seconds in the fame, Mr. Safety Car. Hopefully we won't see you for the rest of the day.
What a lovely livery. What a lovely livery.
So,
let me say that for certain. That's a nice livery. Right there.
The thing is, I think if we put him in a race car, you'd be bloody surprised at him. I'm telling you, that guy is quick. But our driver, our safety car driver, is very quick in a GT3 car. Very quick.
Indeed.
Right. So.
Yeah,
But yeah, my cat's decided it. Hey, not a good time to decide to play, is it? Right.
All right.
So here we go. We are now through turn 10 into 11.
So what do you reckon? What are your final last-minute race predictions then, Diallo?
It depends on how well Stazak gets away.
I'm saying Loda goes into top 10.
I would like
Just on
Loader
pace
into
alone.
top 10. I'd love Loader. I'd love Loader to be top 3.
He could potentially. You know, he was actually mentioning to us that if he wins the race, we've got to say something very specific in Twitch chat. Do you remember?
Yep.
It was, yeah, he has only had 20 hours in this game,
Oh,
and he
50.
wins these 50. Okay, that's it. You know, for 50 hours, qualifying 13th isn't that bad. Hopefully, though
It's-
13 is unlucky.
It's certainly
It's
not.
gonna
I
be-
mean, most people, when you consider the likes of me, I've been playing this game and doing different bits and bobs on this game now since it practically came out. And I can't reach the times that these guys do. Not by a long
Oh,
shot.
nor can I. Nor can I.
You know,
Indeed. We're getting...
these races, we've got 18 guys on the pit on the track today. Each one of them.
they're actually saying... They're saying that the safety car is going to win the race from P19. What do you reckon in that prediction?
If we let him go, well, mind you, no, because he's in a GT4, so he'd have a bit of a difficulty actually winning the race from there. He's in the GT4 Mercedes, so we'd have a bit of difficulty there. But Stazak is now bringing them round towards, well, I think we've done Blanchemont on turn 18, so we're coming up to the chicane. Stazak.
The infamous bus stop chicane at the moment. So we're going to be going, I think, across the line. So it's not through Eau Rouge like it typically is. Last bit of bobbing and weaving.
So
We're seeing,
everybody's
I think, a
lining
little
up
bit of
2 by 2.
very nice, very orderly. Brenham might actually get the start here. Ooh, is that a bit of touching? No, okay. Thank God the cars are ghosted because Brenham just touched the backhand side of Stazik's Porsche. You can just see they're trying to warm up the tires and go. They're side by side, the two, and they're only 27 milliseconds apart in qualifying. As we do go green.
No.
I think we're waiting. to-
You've forgotten. Start finish line on Spa. Unfortunately, on ACC is separated. That's the finish line. Start line is around the corner, just down there. So we're coming up
he's
to
coming from
the
F1.
start line. Yeah, no, sorry. Almost as bad as
Do you
your
want to take us away
DRS.
then, Diallo?
No, because you could do it
Alright,
a lot
cool.
quicker than me. Go for it.
Indeed. So start finish line now. Now being corrected by my co-commentator.
Here we go, green,
Boogity,
green.
boogity. We are going racing using a NASCAR reference in I guess GT racing. So Stasi gets a very good exit, followed by Brennan, followed by Galley. Brunschit's already up into third place. Mills though, falling down in the pack. We're seeing very clean turn one. Oh, never mind. I misspoke. We see Mortadella on the side. We see Loda as well, who's caught out by the chaos, approaching the pack at the moment. The timing screens are updating, and the safety car has been called out on lap 1 of this race. So, what happened there? I just saw, I just was focusing on the leaders, and boom, I just see one of the Ferraris off, I see Loda off, I see a whole thing, but like the safety car is called out. So, I know you didn't want the safety car there, but it is now there, and hopefully will round up the pack.
So
safety car currently-
Mortadelli must have unfortunately really clonked his car. Clonked his car. He seems to be driving okay. Are you sure the safety car's coming out?
Yep, it says safety car, safety car. I mean, none of these guys are going full speed. Everyone's holding position. There's no overtaking. There's a lot of warming up with the tires.
That's the only problem, you see. I
And-
don't see the chat.
Well,
nobody.
I can, and I'm communicating.
Nobody talks to me.
Uh,
I think at the back we had a few Mortadella Loader. They both, I think, went off. Mortadella seems to be worse than Loader. So we'll have to see.
oh yeah.
If you will give me
If you look,
a bit of patience, I will try and go to the replay. So give me a second.
sure. And looking at Mortadella's car at the moment. Oh, the stream is. Nope,
I
hasn't
put you to the
stopped.
studio because I'm not going to let them see me actually try and do the there's more.
So looking at Mortadella's car, and we can see, oh, that is significant rear damage right there. On Mortadella's Audi. Steering looks okay. I'm on board with him at the moment, and it doesn't look like it's bent to the side. So he looks like he can drive it, but I guess the rear is gonna snap on him every once in a while, which is not what you need with a light car like an Audi. And the Bentley, that would essentially transform it into one of the, like, I guess, Aston Martins or Ferraris. But oh, we are seeing Mortadella and also Alexic in the number 10 Ferrari and the number 32 Audi, both in the pit lane at the
here's
moment.
the start as well. So let's see if
I'm
I
looking
can...
at it. So it looks okay. So both cars in the pit lane, along with A Petit and the number 97 McLaren. So I guess those three were the major involvements, and that's going to be new tires, and also that's going to be some repairs done. So that is, I think, effectively, if
there
the
was
safety car isn't out for too much longer.
Oh, we will have to have a look at that because it looks like Mortadella's got a
Ooh.
bump. That might have been Loader. Uh-oh. The foot...
That is...
You know what? Thank you very much for pointing that out. Thank you very much indeed. It's because it doesn't transform properly sometimes. There we go. Right.
And V Stout has spun out on the safety car lamp. Was that intentional?
Thank you,
Was that
Danny.
not? I'm not too sure.
Right.
So that is...
You will have to tell me how the race is going because I can't see it while I'm in the front shit.
We're currently still under safety car
while
conditions.
safety car. Has he?
It doesn't appear so. He's in P4 at the moment. He was in P3, but I guess that was before the safety car was called out and whatnot. But I guess he was overtaking once again. So currently, as it stands with the race, we're still under safety car conditions. FIA has not called the safety car in, and we are seeing V Stout, who's a little bit of damage to the rear of his Lamborghini, currently in P15, and now catching up back to the pack. Also, A Petit in the number 97 McLaren also is doing so as well, so it'll be a while. We do have M. Alexic in the number 10 Ferrari, and as well as T. Mortadella and the number 32 Audi, who are both in for repairs, and I think that is Mortadella. Yeah, that's Mortadella out of the pits, as well as Alexic as well. So both cars have been repaired and are still able to race. So I can imagine the safety car is going to be out for another lap or two.
The safety car usually stays out for 3 laps. So he's already been out for 2. Has he been out?
He's been out for 1 lap at the moment. So it is going to allow the back markers to catch up, and it's going to allow them to hopefully get used to their new car.
It's basically getting everybody repaired and back out again, isn't it? I mean, we've seen there, unfortunately, our boy Loader was one of the culprits there. So
13th position, not treating him very well. Has a significant front damage. If we go to that Aston Martin, you can see the hood almost flying off. So that is like a bit of elevation on that hood. So I'm not too sure if that's a bit of a new downforce regulation, but you can see a lot of the cars at the moment within the range of that accident having a lot of scratch marks. So hopefully it will be resolved and it's not too major. So we've only had a couple of people pit in. We are on the second lap of the safety car A Petite, now going through La Sauce and going through the approach to Eau Rouge. So that is going to be the first of the backmarker cars to, I guess, rejoin the pack. And as well as we're going to get number 17 and number 18 of Alexic and Mortadella in the Ferrari and Audi. Both join the pack currently in Sector 3 at the moment, now at the bus stop chicane. So they will be there. Safety car is coming in this, in this lap. So while the individuals will, like in the safety car, will not be speeding up, the individuals behind the back marker.
That was me having the stroke, Danny. Don't worry, I was trying something different. I know towards the end it started to get a bit. He doesn't look at the stream, you see. So he's watching the race. Shiv watches the race.
I'm watching the race.
Whereas I watch the stream because I'm looking after the stream.
Indeed.
So.
Indeed. So.
Every now and again I try and make it a little bit better for you guys. So. I'll remember next time not to go so far away from the car that I click on. That's the best bet.
Right, wonderful.
He doesn't have a clue.
Wonderful.
He doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about right now. You can hear him.
I have a clue. I'm watching the stream.
You're watching it now. But you don't know what me and Danny are talking about.
I'm watching it now.
But you know what
I saw it. I was seeing it. I was seeing it. I have two eyes for a reason there, Yellow.
I wouldn't know. You were talking for one with the wrong one then. Weren't you?
No, I see what you're saying, but like with a bit of delay, so.
With a bit of Now you're talking about my brain?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant the stream, but I mean it can be interjected in both senses when you really think about it.
Yes, I know what you're on about. Sorry, I'm teasing you now. Right, so as we said,
that's all right.
The safety car will be coming in this lap. I rely on Shiv for that information because I don't get it. So that means that Starshak is going to have to control the pack. Back them up. He knows the rules. They've actually been practicing the safety car procedures just recently. So hopefully we will not have any issues as long as the guys remember once the safety car has gone in, nobody overtakes until they go for the start line, not the finish line, which is here. Remember, it's the start line. So,
which is around the next corner.
Correct. He remembers this time, folks. Am I being mean now? I'm being mean now, aren't I?
Nah, it's alright. You're all good.
So here we go. Stazak is leaving.
He's got to defend from Brenham all over again. And hopefully, this time up Eau Rouge and onto Rally on a cleaner and much better exit. Ooh, Stazak is waiting. He's holding the pack up. Are we still under safety car conditions?
No, he should have let them. They should be racing.
Well, Brenham's just overtaken him, so I think Brenham just caught Stazak napping.
I think he has.
He's on the Camel Straight. Yep. So I think Stazak was trying to do a bit of a Lewis Hamilton and trying to back everyone up on the straight, but that's really shot him in the foot at the moment. And Brenham now leads this race. Brunschitz is now reclaimed third from Galley. M. Jones is currently in fifth place. S. Simons behind him, so Ferrari on Ferrari. A. Misery in the number 4 Bentley, not doing too bad. And 7th, J. Damien in the number 15 Audi, currently in 8th place, is also now attacking Misery, going down the outside of him Is he going to go down on the move here? Ooh, goes a bit wide. Does he hit make contact with the wall? No, just barely. Loses the position now to H. Mills and the other Bentleys. The Bentleys go very well here at Spa because of their high downforce, so they can really take a lot of corners a lot better than a lot of the lighter cars. But as we're seeing, the lighter car is actually leading this race.
Here's a question for you. I'll do it while it's quick and there's nothing going on at the moment. But which way's heavier, a McLaren or a Bentley? Don't you answer, Shiv?
I'm saying the Bentley now.
Okay, so we got your answer. Chat, think about that for a moment while we go back to Brenham at the front, because Stazak is going to be getting right up his tailpipe.
He's gaining. He's gone to the left-hand side with him. Brenham and Stazak neck and neck through Blanchimont. Is it going to go in whose favor? It's going in Stazak's favor, and the Porsche now claims P1 again. But Brenham has the advantage of slipstream and as well as the aerodynamical advantage of the Lamborghini. Now through the bus stop chicane they go. Start-finish line. The finish line, not start-finish line, as I'm being corrected. So this time I do remember. Stazak leads, Brenham second, about 7/10 back from the last time we detected from the second detector. Braking really tightly into La Sauce, now going to the start line, starting lap 3 of this race, well, racing lap 3 of this race, technically, or rather racing lap 4 as race up through Eau Rouge. Brenham following Stazak, but is the slipstream going to be there? No, there's no DRS here, so there's no activating in 1 second. There is no slipstream, and that is going to be Stazak eventually, after nearly 14 minutes in this Grand Prix and one safety car later, finally pulling away from Brenham. But the race is long, so anything can happen. Galley, though, sitting quietly in P3. Brunschitz and Galley and Jones and Simons. So we have from P3 to P7 actually battling for P3 at the moment, when you really think about it. So that is a hell of a battle. So though Stazak is going to most likely be pulling away, it's not over yet. Gap is currently 1.3 seconds.
Time out. Breathe. Yeah, breathe. For God's sake, man, breathe. Right. As I was going, trying to say, Stazak has now pulled out a 1.5 a second lead over Brennan. He'd actually pulled out 1 second lead at the top of Eau Rouge. Okay, so we've got Brennan 1.5 seconds behind, and then we've got Galley 3.8 seconds, and Brunschitz is 4.2 seconds. So, yes, Jin has done that very well. Don't know what he was doing at the beginning, but he really has pulled it off now. So we're looking at my timing tables are saying 2 seconds, 2 minutes. 2 seconds now from Brenham to Stazak. But here, as you can see, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th are all friendly. In fact, that's actually going back to
J. Damien in 9th now, technically speaking. So all of the drivers are currently very friendly and not doing too badly. And that's M. Loda in the pits as well.
Oh,
M. Loda
I hope he has a better second.
Pitted. Oof, that's unfortunate. I think that's a retirement from the race.
But Daly back on P12. He's just had a shout out there in chat from.
He's not doing too badly considering what happened. But currently as it stands, yes, Team Mortadella is currently in P12 now, going down the Camel Straight. Has a bit of a threat from the Ferrari behind, the number 10 Ferrari of Alisic. And might I say, the cars who were initially involved in that accident, minus M. Loda, who's just come out of the pit. So that is not a retirement, thankfully. That is just repairs, and now can get about doing what they can do in about 14 minutes of racing here at Spa. We've seen M. Loda be very, very good. Is he going to be able to lap himself? Potentially, maybe, but I'm not too sure about any positions. He's going to be driving the absolute wheels up the Aston Martin, presumably getting those new tire changes. He is going to have the best and biggest tire advantage on the grid at the moment. So currently, as it stands, we do have a little bit of a battle going on for, I think, P3 it is now. So Galley, Brunschitz, Jones, Simons, Mills, Misery, Damien, and even if you want to count in A Petite as well, because they're all battling for third position. They're very close together, only separated by not much time, but mainly their respective lengths of their cars. And by I mean lengths of their cars, I mean their physical lengths of their cars. So what do you reckon? Who do you think is going to come out on top for the final podium spot?
My mouth. Excuse me. Right, we'll start again. Right, looking at it, we've got Brunschitz, Jones, Simons, Mills. We're all running around about the same time. Actually, not Mills, Simons. It's Simon, Galley to Simons, really, where we are. And we are only looking at possibly 2 seconds between the three of them. So really, any of those could, in theory, get third. But we've got 12 minutes of the race to go. Mr. Brunschitz now has a nearly 4-second lead, 3.9 second lead there. Brenham can just about see him. And then Galley, well...
But not for much longer, I don't think.
Galley is reeling in Brenham. Slowly, very slowly.
He is, so
but he is reeling him in.
we could...
So we could still see a
really
fight all the way up from 2nd to 6th. If this carries on this way.
That's what we can't... That's what we want in racing. We want fighting for the positions. We've seen Stashak really just fly away with this, and within clear air, you know, he is absolutely flying at this point. Brenham, though, the Lamborghini. Well, we mentioned a lot about car choice and whatnot, but the Lamborghini, I think, is really struggling because you need the downforce in a lot of these corners, and though through Blanchimont, through the Camel Straight, is where the Lamborghini absolutely shines. That's only 2-3 turns in the pack. The rest is where you see the Aston Martin of Galley, the McLaren of Brunschitz, the Ferraris, and even the Bentleys really shine at the moment. So it could just be down to car choice, but we're seeing obviously now down through Blanchimont that Brenham is making that gap. Galley is just barely hanging on, and the Aston Martin, he's not getting the slipstream, because I do believe in ACC you've got to be 6/10 away from the car to do so. But in the corners you can see the power of that Aston Martin really shine, especially up through Eau Rouge, because we saw that Brenham, though he initially got Stashak napping, we saw that Stashak pulled a second gap in one corner. That is unheard of in racing. That is, unless you're racing with me in Diallo, that is, but that is practically unheard of.
You're treading on thin ice, my boy. Anyway.
Well, at least I've included myself in there, so
there is
I don't feel as bad.
But anyway, going back to my original question, I said which was heavier, the Bentley, or, well, which was heavier, which is lighter, Bentley or the McLaren? And to be perfectly honest, they're both around the same weight. Who would think it? We say the McLaren with the Bentley is a boat, but that boat is made of very special things. Lightweight, composites, they're all there, and they bring that weight down to nearly the same as a McLaren. I only say nearly because Bentley are one of the few that at the moment we don't have any figures for, because they haven't got a car. Well, yet they have got a car in GT World now, but at the time of my brain, he didn't. So, back to the racing. Stashak has now pulled a 6-second lead out on Brenham. Galley is pulling Brenham back. He's now under a second behind Brenham. Brunschitz, Jones, Simons, they're all together. You can see there.
So we're really seeing ultimately a battle for P2 instead of P3.
Hey.
We're seeing battles for the podium places
Well, we've
because
got 8 minutes left. So what do we think? Do we
Indeed.
think any of those last, Brenham, Galley, Brunschitz, Jones, or Simons?
I'm thinking, in my solemn prediction, I'm thinking Galley might get P2. I'm saying that for certain because look how close they are right now. I'm saying within the next 2 to 3 laps, or even now down the Camel Straight, within this particular lap now, that Galley is going to get P2. Brunschitz might be able to challenge for P3 because I think once Brenham loses one position, it's just that snowball effect of another and another and another and another and another until he's just hanging on. Not to say that he's a bad driver. He was, 0.27 seconds away from pole position.
It's called
so
tyres.
Tires.
What
So,
are the
could this be
Lamborghini
that?
tyres like now? Are they starting to fade? We've had
I don't know because we have
23
that
minutes.
safety car.
Yes, that is true. But look at the way that Galley is reeling Brenham in. Galley is now only half a second behind Brenham.
I think it just could be the downforce of the Aston Martin compared to the Lamborghini, because the Lamborghini, as previously mentioned, excels on Camel Straight and on Blanchimont, and a lot of corners where you have to get a lot of straight line speed. The Aston Martin is a very all-around car, right?
But
And
Galley-
from personal experience
Galley is
driving
now
it,
0.3 behind Brenham, so he is starting to get there. He's going to start getting that slipstream soon. In fact, you've just seen it there.
indeed. So, Brenham is going to make a gap if they can hold it through to Blanchimont and then the Camel Straight. They'll make a gap, right? But with the gap with the slipstream that Galley has, coupled with the fact that at the end of Blanchimont, as you can see, Brenham gets a very good exit, has that bit of a gap now, 4/10ths away, Galley is from Brenham. We have this really infamous corner called the bus stop chicane, and Galley is able to brake so much later than Brenham. Might even pass them on braking, might even pass them on Blanchimont as Galley gets very, very close. Brenham goes to the outside, but Galley goes to the inside. Doesn't make it through, could have gone through here to the bus stop chicane, thought better of it. And now Brenham may be able to hold on for just that bit longer.
Well, while
We can see-
Galley and Brenham have been fighting, Brunschitz has managed to claw back some of that time he's lost, and now he is also around about 0.4, 0.5 behind Galley. So this is actually going to get interesting. This is the battle for second and third. Jones has fell back a bit.
Really, the battle for the podium.
Yeah, this is definitely the
Ooh.
battle for the last podium spots. Dazak
So we're looking at...
is away.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Nearly 10 seconds away. 9.5 seconds he is now away, which you consider that's at 25 minutes, but let's say call it 18 minutes because of the safety car. He's got a 9.5 second gap in 20 minutes. Is he going to do it in?
extraordinary.
Is he going to do it in the second race?
Potentially, yeah. I could see that. Brenham is holding on for his life. If we're on board with Galley in the number 11 Aston Martin, and even Brunschitz in the number 17, he is holding on for his life. You can tell that there are some sweaty hands behind that steering wheel or controller, or even I think in some cases mouse pad, as Galley potentially outbrakes him. No, Brenham just holds in. The defensive work between the Lamborghini driver is just simply amazing. He's inviting him in and being like, nope, I don't want you here. So, I mean, it just reminds you that Brenham is really just holding on at this point. He's not chasing after Stashak. That's not on the list of his priorities. He is purely defending from Galley, and Galley is gaining on Blanchimont. This is where Brenham really shines on Lamborghini. So he's not gaining as fast, but he's gaining. Is he going to go down the left or the right hand side of him? Not at the moment, just following the racing line, the them both. Now here is crucial. Galley goes down to the left-hand side. Outbreaks Brenham, does he? By how much? And he gets the inside. Brenham goes with the outside. Brenham is going to get the slipstream. Potentially he gets the better exit. Galley gets a very poor exit. Brunschitz now also looking at them both. I'm going to breathe soon. Don't you worry about that. Now going through La Sauce. Brenham just hold on. Goes a bit deep.
Oh, that was a bit
nearly
deep.
A bit of contact. Ooh, that was close. Was that a hit?
I don't think it was a hit because Brenham's kept going in the straight line. But what that has done, that has let Brunschitz into third. Now, as
That's
I say,
exactly what Brenham would have wanted.
Brunschitz, and let me just have a look at the timing screens here. Timing screens here says that a Galley is doing a 220.694. Whereas
Brunschitz is now going down into 7, 8, and 9. It goes a bit wide up and then spins out. He spun out. He has now overcooked that corner, and from second has now gone down to 5th place.
And the thing
So
was, here's the thing, Galley
make that
and
6 now,
Brunschitz,
as there's a bit of contact between Brunschitz and Simons.
Galley and Brunschitz were actually running about the same lap times. So
this is exactly what Brennan would have wanted as well. He would have wanted the chaos to unfold upon him. This is probably the final lap. What he's just waiting for now is for Stashak to just finish the lap and for this to be the final lap. He's not going to hold it for much longer. But Brunschitz at the moment, it's saying that he's in P2, but he's dropped down tremendously. Brenham, though, holding on by the skin of his teeth. Galley now, and Brenham once again battling it out. Now he's gaining. Now he's very close on Blanchard. He's gaining. He might even pass on the straight to the Aston Martin and Lamborghini. He's going. The door is not open well enough and for long enough for Galley to potentially go. So he exited a little bit too quickly. The braking is going to prove crucial. Leader is on the final lap, so Brenham's going to defend for his life. Gets the better of the exit. Maybe did a bit of Senna footwork in the fact that he brakes early, then proceeds to accelerate. Brenham has got this currently at the moment. I've just used a bit of the same word, so I really should invest in a thesaurus. Now goes through La Sauce. Now, this is going to be crucial. This is potentially Galley's last opportunity, one of his last opportunities to attack for second place. How dirty is he gonna go? He's on the podium. You know, he's safe to Jones. Is it going to be an all or nothing moment? He's gaining through the Camel Straight. He is indeed gaining. He's getting the slipstream. And you can see the defensive work by Brenham to go down. Not the ideal race. Now he's side by side. How late is he going to break? Ooh. And Brenham still holds a position, and Galley still holds a position. So Galley is in front, and so is Brenham, and the timing screens are going well, and the fans are going well, and my voice is going well. Brenham still holds it through Le Combs, and through 9 and 10. So Galley's not gonna get it down the inside. He's got the outside line. Brenham on the inside. Now through turn 11, a little bit of a twitchy rear end, and now Jones has now joined this battle, so potentially could ruin the party for both of them. Brenham now going through Pouon. Race is finished. Stashak should be now in Sector 2. Now approaching Sector 3, but that doesn't matter. We're seeing Brenham currently just holding on for position, using every inch of the track to really fight it out. And currently still in P2. Galley is behind him. So is Jones, and potentially Simons as well. Could get this if Galley decides to play dirty, if something happens. Now through turns 15 and 16, and now we're gonna see the Lamborghini really excel through the straight line. Has got the exit. Has Galley got the exit? No. Is Galley
sorry to interrupt, but Staszak is coming up onto the finish line.
And that is a wonderful race.
There we go. There is an absolutely wonderful race, controlled very well by Staszak, and we return back to second, third, and fourth. Are they going to stay this way, or is there going to be a change?
Potentially, Jones is side by side with with Simons or with
And
Galley.
there we
Let me
go.
say that.
We have second, third, and fourth. So, right.
I take a breath. I take a bottle of water, actually. Holy hell. That was awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what. Racing wise, I think we couldn't have done any better there. Brenham, Jones, well, Galley, Brunscheidt, they all gave us a fantastic ending to this race. I don't know what it is with these guys, but the last two races they've done the same. They did it when we were on our last endurance race. Everything happened in the last 20 minutes. But today, Starshak, well, he only made one mistake, but he made up for that very quickly.
Indeed, he did.
Galley, well, Brenham, he kept second place all the way, but he had to work hard. He had to work really hard for that today. Galley, well, Galley was putting him under some pressure towards the end. I would just say that would probably have been Brenham's tyres being off towards the end of the race, but maybe we'll find out if we manage to get an interview with them later on. Brunscheidt, well, unfortunately he's made the mistake and it's cost him from 4th to 6th. But as he would probably tell you, that's racing. So,
Indeed. And that is racing at its finest. You know, sometimes you make mistakes, you overcook a corner, you move on.
it is right now.
Now, yeah.
Hopefully,
you and I were just waiting for each other.
hopefully there's an incident into Eau Rouge in the start where I can come out ahead. Oh, I'll have to see. I will have to see, my friend. This time, no bumping. Oh, you know, no bumping.
Yeah. Armed with the knowledge, I think these drivers will do a lot better, for sure.
Well, looking at it, the temperature has now dropped 3 degrees since the race started. Okay, that is going to have a big influence on their times. As the colder it
Indeed
gets,
it is.
their tyres are going to be harder and harder to keep warm. Well, what do you think? How do you think it went? Was it good enough?
From Loda, yep. So we're seeing a lot of positive comments about the battle, which was quite good. So I'm quite happy to see that mine and Diallo's voice was adequate enough to entertain you guys. And also getting some word from Loda saying he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It happens. That's racing. You know, sometimes that is how it is, as I guess the kids say now these days. And you've really just got to move on. You know, there's 2 races here, and second race armed with the knowledge and the know-how. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Okay, right. We are now on our little break between the 2 sessions. So, what you've seen in
Indeed.
the first, what do you reckon for this?
I'm saying that I don't think the Lamborghini. Is that my game? Oh, lovely. Now, for the one time my game doesn't, like, it works. I'm like, oh, success. And now, opposite. So, I'm saying that second place Lamborghini doesn't keep that position for much longer. The defensive work was amazing, really amazing. Probably some of the most defensive driving that I've ever seen, and quite frankly, I think that's some of the best driving I've ever seen. But now, armed with the knowledge, it's gonna be more of a battle now for P2, which is huge, I think, because all of these guys are within a second of each other. So I'm gonna say a clean first lap, hopefully. that'll be good. But yeah, hopefully I can get in game by then, because we've got 3 minutes left, as I see on the stream, and as well as a formation lap. So it'll be good. Hopefully it'll do that. But yeah, I mean, not too bad. I think that Sashak will be challenged for sure by someone at some point in the race for an extended period of time. I know it sounds broad, right? But it's like I feel like there will be that element of threat now that the drivers are there. So I'm saying maybe Brunschitz or Galley could potentially challenge him. I'm not discounting the Lamborghini of Brenham by any means necessary, but I don't know about the obviously the car itself. As I mentioned, you have to brake so early. But yeah, it could be interesting. What do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You sort of caught me off guard there because I'm trying to control the camera better than I have done before. So, two things. One mouth. No, can't do this. Right. But yes.
One mouth, one cameraman.
It's gonna go down to whether Stazak can pull the lead again. Brenham's going to have to look after his tyres, because we've seen there
Indeed.
in the second half of that race, his tyres must have been going off. They had to have been. The amount that he was starting to drop off there. Good race towards the end. Very good race.
Oh yeah.
Galley, Brenham, Brunschitz. Very good, close racing. What we want to see. It certainly is what we want
Indeed
to see.
it is.
Sorry. See, I do that nice little camera work and then I cock it up. Typical. Right. We are gonna, less than a minute, the session start. Chat. What are you thinking? Is Stazak gonna walk away with it? That was Senna. Mr. Simons.
We see it a lot of the time in a lot of the sprint series. We see like a dominant winner. So originally we saw the Bentleys really dominate the sprint series, right? But then I think the second one always brings out another individual armed with the knowledge, armed with the know-how. The two races, it's not like send it all for the one race. It's now I know what to do. Now I know this person's going to go like this. So it's going to be a lot better. So yeah, formation lap, I think I see on stream. I'm just started. So hopefully, I guess you'll have to be taking us through the start. So I did it last time, and now you've gotten the honors of seeing if we get through Eau Rouge cleanly.
Watch Twitch. You can still watch Twitch, can't you?
I am watching Twitch. I'm watching, but it's with a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay between my brain and my mouth. So what's going to work there?
I mean,
we've got the drive. We've got the drive. Don't forget, we're at the. See, look what you do to me, lad. Look what you do to me. put me under pressure and I shit it. We are on the formation lap at the moment. So Stazak is just going to lead us round. They're going to have to try and keep their tyres as warm as possible. We know this because we've all probably tried to do it ourselves. Me, quite badly. But
Me.
I need chat. Chat, please tell me, what are your predictions for this second one? Is Brenham going to be able to pull it out the bag this time and maybe keep second?
Start. Yeah, maybe. For sure, yeah.
Danny's
67
going.
easy
Danny's
against us,
going
Danny.
for Starshak again.
Safe bet.
Dave.
Yeah.
And then we've got Galley in third. He did well towards the end there. Is he going to try and make up another spot? Runshite.
Potentially could if he gets the start right.
That's true. Runshite on fourth. Made that little mistake. And that was it. He dropped from fourth to sixth. He won't be happy with himself. We'll try and grab an interview with him later on. We also had Mr. Mills in our Bentley. Now usually it's the Bentleys that win the first race. And then somebody else comes in.
Yeah, it is.
And takes it off them. So, is Mr. Mills
So
going
it
to...
could be the opposite then.
Yeah. Is Mr. Mills going to run it through the pack?
Yeah.
Punting everybody out the way. Boom, 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 boom. Well, hopefully not punting. But is he going to try and get to the top? Yeah, 15 seconds was a hell of a gap. But that was with a track that was 4 degrees hotter than it is now.
Oh yeah.
So,
for sure.
is that going to take any... Is that going to give us any impact? Can Stazak...
I mean, obviously...
can Starshak keep... You reckon he's going to do it by 30 seconds now, Danny? We got a
There's no
fanboy.
safety car.
We've got a fanboy. Hopefully there won't be a safety car this time. Sorry, Tom. I don't want to see you on the track again. Let's just have 30 minutes of racing. Alright.
That'd be great. That'd be
Down
great.
at the back.
We got Danny being the chief cheerleader for Stashak.
He is. He's
Give me
there.
an S. Give me a T. Give me an A.
At the back, we've got
love to see that.
Langman, Stout, Flores. So, Damien, 9. And right now, Mortadelli. So we will be starting.
I'm saying Loda is gonna get some points. That's I know it wasn't correct the first time, but the second time that'll be hopefully the case, as he doesn't do it through Rouge. Actually dive one from the safety car to P1, who then wins. Honestly, I can see that happening. That is definitely a possibility at the moment. So
Okay, so we're coming up to turn 1 now. Coming up to Lussos. You can see them all now
for the
weaving
finish
around.
line.
Ow! They are.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to open something, and you know when your fingers get trapped in between plastic.
Ooh.
Anyway, here we go.
imagine.
Heading down to the start line now. Dazak shouldn't be caught sleeping this time round, like he was on the restart. Can we get a clean start from the back as well? Let's hope and see. We're approaching the start line now. And there we go. Into a Rouge. Nobody's looking too cocky at the moment. Clean at the back as well.
I saw some track cuts, but I'm not seeing any punts, so that's a good sign. I'd rather take someone cutting the track than someone punting someone off. But I could be
Certainly
wrong.
will.
I'm just watching from stream at the moment. My game's nearly done anyway, so it should be good.
Okay. Oh dear me. Sorry, my systems. I was looking at my systems, and it just went completely the wrong way. It actually had Mortadelli in first for some reason. That's why I went a bit blank then. But Starshack has begun this race where he left off in the last race, and Brenham as well. They're both racing. This time, Starshack is not getting that lead that he did the first time round. Well, for the restart, that is. But we have Brenham, who is 0.3, and Brunscheit, which is 0.4, and Jones is another 0.4 behind that. So we've got quite close here. Let's have a look. Top 7 are 2.9 seconds, so under 3 seconds for the top 7 cars. You can see them all there as the camera flies over. So
All right, so it stands currently loading in to the game. So Nerlin will be with you again. Everyone's saying what happened to Mortadella, because I think we just saw him alone actually on the track.
was Mortadella is at the back, and unfortunately Loader is with him.
Is that another incident between those two?
It looks like it, because Loader's coming in.
That's really unfortunate. So, Stormwell, you were right in the fact of that is another incident for Loda, and we are now back in game, so I can actually commentate. So,
Brenham has had an incident coming through Eau Rouge.
He is going very slowly compared to where he is now. He's dropping down, so that is P9, P10 for Brenham. What's going on here? And that is a drive-through penalty for Loda for causing a collision. What's happened with Brenham?
Has now gone up. Why can't I have a good replay system? Give me a replay system. I certainly don't want to miss this. We now have Stazak and Brunscheit
up into P9.
Unfortunately, it looks like we had an incident with Brenham going through Eau Rouge.
He's just sorted out now, I guess. So whatever it was, maybe mechanical, just sorted out now. This is going to be interesting, though. Stazak and Brunscheit.
It certainly is,
shall I say, because their cars are very evenly matched. You know, the Porsche and the McLaren are very evenly matched cars, and they're very evenly matched drivers as well. So I would not be surprised to see both of them battle out for the lead. Jones as well, getting in the fight in the Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean,
and Galli. So a Porsche.
Up to Jones, we've got a second between third and first. Galli is a bit further back.
Through the bus stop.
What have we got?
So technically we've got three of the biggest manufacturers in Porsche, McLaren and Ferrari battling out. So currently that is a 6/10 gap between Stashak and Brunscheit, and also a 5/10 back to M. Jones. So 1.1 second gap for the top three at the moment, and also these cars are very structurally matched because they're very good in a straight line. They're good with the corners. They're good at Spa, essentially. And seeing that these guys are on relatively equal skill level, I would not be surprised if we have a three-way battle for the lead. And saying that, though, Brunscheit is not letting Stazak fly into the distance like we usually do. And though Stazak usually wins the second race, like as we've seen at, for example, Suzuka, where the Bentleys dominate the first race, Brunscheit in the McLaren is now challenging. So we're going to see, I don't think we've ever seen in the series, two of the same winners in two races.
No.
So no drivers won twice.
No drivers won twice.
Can Stashak change that is the main question. That's going to be the one that I think everyone's looking for. And it's going to be a very close battle at the moment between Stashek and Brunschitz, the McLaren and the Porsche. Both the cars ending up in the...
Oh, Kai, you're quite correct. He will fly. Hopefully, not quite like that. But last
Daniel
race was
has
Laguna.
Seca?
Yeah, last race was Laguna Seca.
Okay.
Did you say last race?
Then yeah, you're... Yeah, no, it was... I didn't say the last race was Laguna Seca. Daniel won... Okay, never mind then. So that'll be corrected in Stashek being a second two-time winner in a row here at the JLM Series, and Brunschitz is going to the outside of Stashek. How late do they break? They usually do okay, but Stashek has got a bit wide. Brunschitz getting the better exit. Stashek still holding track position now up to La Sauce. At the moment has now lost time to M. Jones the far. He's just waiting for all of this to just unfold. As soon as Stashek and Brunschitz start the battle, he's quietly waiting there, like a lot of the drivers, just waiting to pick up the scraps in P3, respectable position. Now Stashek is going through the main straight up to Eau Rouge and on to Rouse. So now up through Eau
has
Rouge.
unfortunately dropped back to 10th position, Danny. I think he had an incident coming through Eau Rouge. Because I just caught him dropping back. Fortunately, I was just coming back to him and I'd just seen him clip it onto the top of the radio.
Yeah, well,
onto the
P10,
camel, sorry.
Even with that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all for still being P10. And yeah, that is racing, I guess. You know, things happen like that, and you try to make the best of a bad situation. So he was, I think, overtaking P9 at one point, but then dropped back as well. Maybe that's due to a bit of a mechanical failure. It's not really worth pitting, just worth just kind of staying up and doing what you really can. You're having a word with the steward, says Loda. Well, hopefully that goes well for you. Or not. But currently as it stands, car 71, which was M. Loda in the limitless Aston Martin, has got a drive-through penalty, and as well as for causing that collision. But currently, as it stands on board with Brunschitz in the number 17, McLaren 4/10 back from Stashek, now approaching the really fast main straight sections off the track, now through Blanchimont. He's gaining, actually no, that's a lie. Stashek is actually pushing away, but Brunschitz is also gaining, so he's gaining through a slipstream that they are. They're both in the slipstream range. Stashek goes down to the inside, Brunschitz gets the slipstream, breaks a bit earlier. Is he going to get the better of the exits here, potentially in the start-finish line? I think they get roughly about the same exit, so it's not too good, not too bad for everyone. Up to La Sauce, though, it's gonna be here where it's quite interesting. So not too bad of a line, nearly clipping the wall. The rear wings did, but currently I think the gap will stay the same unless Stashek makes a mistake. Because keep in mind that Brunschitz within 4/10 is still in the slipstream range, and this is gonna be, as I mentioned previously, an extended threat. M. Jones, though, just waiting to pick up the scraps, and not too bad. If we move on to Misery, who's in P5, there's Petit battling him, there's Galley battling him, Simons as well. So there's little mini battles. We're seeing 5th, 6th, and 7th all within a second of each other, which is truly astonishing to see.
Well, looking
within the series.
the numbers with Staszak and Bruden, why have I got Brunschitz first?
Speaking of Brunschitz, Brunschitz has just been overtaken by M. Jones. Just been caught napping at turns 10 and 11, and M. Jones now is up into P2. So potentially is suffering. So Brunschitz may be suffering with the same problem that we saw Brenham do, and now is also under threat by Mills. So Mills, obviously a multiple-time winner here in the series in the Bentley, challenging Brunschitz in the McLaren.
I am not saying this race is really hot up, but it has actually broken my timing screens. My timing screens has has got Brunschites in first, Starshag in second, Jones in third, and as we can see, it's definitely not that positioned right now. Now it's changed. Thank you very much, you silly little piece of equipment. Right, well, whatever that was, I'm sorry, guys. But looking at it, Jones at the present moment is only 2/10 behind Starshag. He'll tell me off for that now. Brunschitz has dropped down 1.2 seconds off the leader, and he's under pressure from Mills, who's only 0.4 behind him. So good close racing again from first to fourth. Not bad this. Looks like we're going to have a nice race again.
Not bad at all. Indeed we are, and it's essentially the battle for the podium, the battle for the lead as well. Because if Stashak makes a mistake, that is him essentially done for. Meanwhile, we've given a warning to car number 97 for dangerous driving and not giving space. So that is A Petit in the number 97 McLaren, who's just been giving a warning, and now it's also passing M Gali on the Camel Straight at the moment. So it's not too bad, the McLaren and the Aston Martin battling. We've seen them battle that out multiple times in this series before. It does get the better of the exits, but there are these minor battles going on track at the moment. I'm just going to personally keep following Jones, Brunschitz, and Mills. So currently the battle for the podium positions, and the race lead. So 17 minutes to go, and this is really going to start ramping up, both in terms of racing and in terms of just really driving.
I have to look at the whole you know, I'm looking at the scoreboard, the timing screens here, and we've got some great little fights going on. We've got the first to third fights. We've got back in 12th, 13th and 14th. They're all covered by around about less than a second. We've got Brenham, who's trying to make up places again. Galley, who's trying to fight with Petit. So I've got to be... Our cameras are going to be all over the place in this. Oh.
Indeed they are.
Thank you.
So, currently, as it stands, 16 minutes to go in this race. Cars are still fighting for the race lead, and M. Jones may be inheriting it. So a dark horse, as we previously mentioned, but Brunschitz as well is all on Jones's rear wing at the moment. So we're really seeing, I guess, a 3 to 4 way battle for the lead. All these cars very aerodynamic.
Danny, you always do.
Structural. You're laughing so hard. What's the joke?
Me.
I'm just. No, you're not a joke. You're loved and valued. All right. Let's say that. Back onto the racing. All right. No, I'll just commentate on the racing then in that case. Brunschitz currently on the back of Jones. He is gaining through the Camel Straight at the moment. Doesn't decide to go for it though. I think everyone simultaneously broke at the same time. So it's really now, I think, a game of follow the leader and hope that he makes a mistake. Because though there is racing going on, and though Jones is opening and closing and opening and closing the door like a bad neighbor, we can potentially see that they are, I guess, really just vying for the positions at the moment. You know, one small mistake, like Brunschitz just gone a bit wide at the moment and onto the grass, is giving the opportunities to Mills. Oh, Brunschitz is off. Brunschitz is off. He is damaged the rear of that car, and he is off into Puan. That is so unfortunate. Just did an Antonio Giovinazzi and was off, and now that's promoted Mills into P3. Was pushing a bit too hard, went a bit too wide, and just lost the car, really. And oh, that McLaren, that looks total. Just getting passed by everyone, can't really defend. He's got to go pit. Yep, into the gravel he goes. That's no other way that he can rid the cars by. Steering wise, it looks really understeery, so that is definitely some rear downforce absolutely gone. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. We can see Brunschütz, and he's lost it again through Blanchimont as well. Likely to keep that car out of the barriers, but effectively, if he doesn't go in for repair, that is this race over.
Well, I would believe so. If he,
I don't.
I think he went into. He went in there backwards and quite hard as well, from the look of it. So when I had a quick look at his car, it was well damaged. So yeah, I'll be surprised if he hasn't got suspension damage there at the back as well. Is probably why he's having a bit bad time. Fortunately, I wasn't looking at the screen when it happened. Typical, really. I was looking at the timing boards.
No. He did go in backwards quite hard. So again, as previously mentioned, that is suspension damage, and he's, I guess, gone off to really see. Yep, and he's lost it up Eau Rouge, and that is, I think, a definite cause to say, hey, why don't you go pit in? He stopped, waiting for all the other cars to go on, and he did try to continue and whatnot, but unfortunately, that is racing, really. So effectively, he's got to come back into the pits, and the rear wing we can see is a bit slanted, so he's most likely going to be shown the meatball flag, black and orange flag, signifying that you have to be coming into the pits to repair that car, because that car is not structurally safe, and effectively, unless you can pull a miracle with the pit crew, his race is now over.
Okay, and this is
terribly
now
unfortunate to see.
where Stazak is starting to pull his lead. He's now pulled 1.7 seconds as Jones and Mills are starting to fight. Now we mentioned the Bentley. Is the Bentley going to come up and get his second? Wait, did 97 start last?
Very good.
Petit,
I think
Petit did start last, didn't he? And he's in fourth.
So he's done a hell of a job. Hell of a job too.
Well spotted, Danny.
So well done to him.
Well spotted, Danny.
What a race, indeed.
Mr. Petit.
Great.
The thing is,
well done.
He's coming under fire from Misery and Galley at the moment. This is definitely some racing to watch.
Indeed it
So we
is.
go up our road.
Oh, I'm just on board. It's on board with
Always gives me
Brunschütz at the moment.
always gives me the
Really struggling with that car.
Oh, Petit definitely trying to get driver of the day, that's for sure. So
Oh yeah, for
please.
sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we get, and yeah, I've already gotten a ping from the FIA saying Petit is in contention for drive of the day, so that's a good one
That's a good
right
one.
there.
Yeah.
So definitely from 17th to 4th, that's like a hell of a
Mills.
comeback drive.
Sorry, Mills is faster than Jones at the moment. He's about 2/10 quicker actually than Jones at the moment. He just doesn't seem to be able to get past him. Jones must be doing a good job. We'll keep an eye on this fight now. It seems to be the one that's keeping the most. Although actually Petit and Misery as well. And all the way back to Landman and Flores as well. They're battling away, quite feverishly battling away.
Indeed they are, and that's one big thing. Jones does have the advantage of the straight line speed, but that's really mitigated now through Mills being in a slipstream and also having that much more downforce that Jones has, especially with the straight line speed. So currently, as it stands, Mills could have gone to the outside or inside of Jones, but instead just chose to wait it out. The rear end of that car is really sliding on him, but it's a lot better than the snaps the Ferrari could potentially be doing as well. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Mills has definitely got the measure of braking. Jones is going to brake a lot earlier, but they do have the advantage on the straights, and so this is a big advantage.
Last 9 minutes, and we're starting to see our back marker, unfortunately, in Mortadelli.
Oh.
So hopefully he'll keep his eye in his mirrors.
Indeed.
Jones
Hopefully
and Mills.
No,
Jones has now pulled out
car 8.
0.5.
Speaking of Bentleys, we are saying that car 8 has got a warning for ramming someone on the 7th lap of this race. So that is quite interesting. That is H. Walton in the number 8 Bentley, who's just gotten a warning, but no penalties applied yet. Stashak now beginning to increase the gap, and it's really now the Jones is in the same position that Brenham was a race ago, and rather a couple of laps ago, in the fact of not chasing after the leader, but more so defending now against Mills and a faster car. So will be interesting because, again, two very structurally different cars, two same skilled drivers, and it's going to be quite the peculiar thing because under pressure we have seen Bernschitz really crumble. As terrible as that is for me to say, he's currently down in 16th place in the pits. I guess he's retired out of the race, but we don't know as of yet. And currently, as it stands, Jones is trying to break the slipstream from Mills, but Mills is gaining, and it's the braking where he really gains, because obviously due to the high amount of downforce. And has he overshot it? Nope, he hasn't. I was judging by his engine sound that I guess he had, but he is really got the tight line, and provided that Jones succumbs under pressure, we could see Mills in P2. But 6 minutes to go in this race and only a couple of laps. We're seeing Jones taking the wider line off of Lasauce, and Mills taking the more tight line. So obviously Mills going on the power earlier, but Jones carrying the speed through the corner. So will be interesting. See what happens. Again, now up through Eau Rouge, through to the Camel Straight. Jones is pulling away, potentially maybe getting something from the car ahead, but Mills is staying with him as well through the downforce.
Jones and Mills at the moment are only separated by 1/10 of a second on their timings. So
that's amazing. Mortadella lets them both by. Good sport. That number 32 Audi. So it's good to see that the blue flags are working. Jones and Mills now through turns 9 and 10, and now through turns 11, through Bruxelles, and now through Pouhon. This is where the Bentley really shines, in the corners where you wanna hold the gear in like cars like the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. You can go flat out, and you can see how wide Jones is going, and how straight that Mills is going as well. And we can potentially see a move come up onto Pouhon, or even through the exit of Pouhon, because Mills will get that much better speed. Whereas Jones works better with the straight lines, because Ferrari is more aerodynamically suited to that, to more straight line speed, as opposed to something like the corners, like the mainly very sharp end corners where you're going to need a lot of downforce.
Well, we've now just passed the 5-minute mark of what's left of the race, and Staszak is first with Jones and Mills here fighting it out, which is it going to be. We then have Petit, who has come up from the back, so he is really in the running for the driver of the day. Then Petit is being harassed by Misery at the moment. And then Galley at 6th, Simon in 7th, Brenham in 8th, so he's made up a couple of places since his little accident earlier on. Mr. Walton in 9th and Alexic in 10th. So,
Indeed.
what are we going to
We
see?
are actually missing a car.
We,
And that is, sorry to interrupt, but
you are Loda
That's
has
Loda.
retired.
Loda has retired. So that's really unfortunate. A race he was openly confident about, and now has unfortunately ended in retirement. So that is racing. Hopefully next round he can make it up.
Oh,
As
look
Mills
at
and Jones go
Mills.
side by side through the columns. Jones has been spun around, and Mills, luckily, out of good sportsmanship, does not take the opportunity, hangs back. That's some good sportsmanship right there.
Definitely.
We saw that.
I think Jones just went too heavy in there on the brake. Well, not on the braking, should I say. He was going a bit deep there. Just gave Jones a nudge around, but not enough to spin him. But they
That's good.
both kept going in the same direction, and Mills just backed off a little bit. And Jones has gotten his 7/10 of a lead again. But that's allowed Stazak to pull out to over 3-second gap now.
Indeed it is, and that's one big thing, is the sportsmanship between these drivers. We saw something similar at Monza, where I think it was one of the individuals had spun around but also gave that position back, which is quite good. So luckily it... Yeah.
Just wondering when
Indeed.
the last lap's
So-
going to be.
So that, I think it's one more lap after this. Actually, no, crossing the line now. Yeah, should be. Oh, never mind. There's one more lap. So not this lap, but not the next lap. The
Well,
lap
actually,
after that.
This may well be the last lap, because if you look, it's 2 minutes on the screen, and Stazak's last lap was a 2:19.
All right.
This may
So
well
indeed, this
indeed be
could
the last lap. So I'll have to keep my eye
Indeed.
on Stazak,
So,
Jones, and Mills.
well, I'll keep the eyes on Jones and Mills at the moment, and currently as it stands, Mills is slowly clawing back that deficit that he had almost involuntarily created due to, rather, Mills is clawing back the deficit. Jones is maintaining that deficit, but for how much longer? It is the last lap, so I think it is going to be a bit of an all or nothing attitude from Mills here, but we will see what happens.
Mills has just gone a bit
Currently-
wide there, so but he's
So is Jones, so he's gone onto the curb. And here at Pouon is where we're really going to see the Bentley shine through those high downforce corners. Jones goes a little bit wide, does accelerate, goes really wide onto the off the racing line, and Mills is now in prime position to potentially attack through to that is Blanchimont. So it could be that, because he is very close and has the downforce and potentially could even get it on the bus stop chicane. All Jones has got to do is just hope that Stashek reaches that within the 24 seconds, not to start the final lap, to make this the final lap for themselves, so he doesn't have to do much more defending. So Stashek is currently safe. 10 seconds to go. Will they make it through?
are we going to have another
two-
lap? I think we are.
We
3,
might.
2, 1. No.
We have
Just
finished the
done.
race. M. Jones in second, H. Mills in third. Stashak makes it 2 out of 2 at Spa and wins both the sprint races. So very well done to
He
him.
certainly does.
Extremely well.
Second race,
Petit.
M. Jones, H. Mills, Petit.
He dances around.
I think Petit will be
That is
dancing
driver
right
of the
now,
day.
because
Drive the day. 100% has to be.
yeah, he's got to be driver of the day. Have a look. And I think in comes la di da di da. anything back on who's driver of the day just yet. Of course, I'm sure we'll find that soon. So, Twitch, what did you think of that today?
I
Was
have the
the racing
words.
good?
I genuinely have the words. Racing was brilliant. I don't have to be Twitch chat to tell you that much.
Yeah, well,
That was awesome.
you're biased. You're biased.
Oh,
Twitch, on the other hand, they just tell us as it is. So, what do you reckon
Indeed.
then, Danny? And Lovelight and Holtz. If you're still with us, what are your reckonings that race? Was it worth turning up today? I hope so. It was for us, because the racing today has just been amazing. Starshag, start. He's just control from front to start. Only made one mistake, but he was able to bring that back. Uh-oh, Petit's gonna get a warning. He just realised that before it was too late. But yes,
nice fights. As they say in chat.
Brenham unfortunately made a mistake somewhere. I think it was on Eau Rouge. I'm going to have to dig through and find out. 97, yes, he did very well in the second race. Very well. I'm actually going to have to watch it back to see how he did it. For my driver of the day, I would probably give it to him because of just how he's done. I mean, Starshak has dominated both races. But Petit has come from 18th on the grid, the P4. So that's not bad at all. Especially with the caliber of some of these, well, all of these drivers. Because fastest we've had during the race has been a 2:18.55, and that was actually by Mills. So the fastest lap of the second race is down to Mills, 2:18.555. That's not bad at all for the boat, is it? So this is where I'll start to lose stuff. So what we'll do is we'll be heading over for the interviews in a moment, which Siv will start sorted out.
Indeed, I will. If you'd like to do an interview, please come to the Waiting for Interviews voice channel. Also, you can come into Chill Zone 1 or 2, wherever works, and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Right.
So, feels so much better without the bounce, GG guys. Well, I'd say so as well. The bounce has been affecting a lot of people.
We forgot about that.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, we forgot. And so did
That's all right.
chat. We all forgot. It was ballast. The drive here, thinking about it now, Starshak, you have 50 kilos there.
Wow. I mean, that's added that force when you really think about it.
I suppose you could look at it like that. But he still managed to get a 3-second gap at times. Oh, we've got one car that's out of fuel. Oops.
That's Senna.
Mr. Stout. Oh, he managed to make it back. Good. Well.
Indeed he has.
And he's got another 50 for next time as well. Yes, he has. He has indeed, for both qualifying and for the race itself and he gets his paperwork out.
All right, we got a couple of interviews.
Well, just before we
First
do,
up, we got.
the next
Okay.
sprint race is on the 29th of May, and that will be Hungaro. The next race we have, and then after, yes, so the next one is Hungaro. Right, sorry, go on.
All right, cool. So we got a couple of interviews. First of all, is our very own driving school coach, Victor Regin.
Well,
Hello?
Jin,
Hello.
how did you think that went?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready to listen to the questions from the commentators.
Right, mate.
So how do
Well,
you think that went?
yeah.
Yeah, like in general, yeah, that was a very tough racing. Like throughout, especially throughout the second race, I was just keeping in mind one thought that once Alex Albon pronounced, like, those guys are racing me so hard.
Yes, you did.
Racing so hard.
Yeah, like so hard with this just like tiresome face expression. That's probably exactly how it looked like.
Whoa.
Yeah, but yeah, driving with 50 kilograms of ballast is honestly not a joke, I can assure.
Well, you've got 50 for next week as well now.
Oh yeah, but it's unavoidable, so yeah, I need to put up with it anyway.
That there is. We noticed on the restart in the first race, you got overtook.
Oh, that was a bit of miscalculation because I wasn't completely sure when the race is supposed to be started because I was waiting for some like green flag signal, even though I just like missed the moment when the safety car actually crossed the start finish line. So yeah, that was a bit of miscalculation, but I'm satisfied that at the very end I managed to overtake Brenham, who showed a very amazing performance in
He
the
did, didn't he?
qualifying. I wasn't expecting us to be like that close in the qualifying, so I thought that I completely like lost the race just because of a slight mistake. But yeah, I had a very strong pace in that car. It felt much better compared to the testing phase. So yeah, that's I don't know even like what to say. The car just like felt completely brilliant.
Well,
Unlike the second race.
well, I was actually going to ask. You had the extra 50 on for the second race, and you went from I think it was 15 seconds you had in the first race, and in the second race
yeah.
you were down to 3 seconds. So yes, that
Yeah,
definitely must have hurt.
That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
Like the ballast kills completely the straight line spin, which is so important on Spa, and I was literally eaten, just like on the straights, and I don't have no idea how I was able to fend off Brunshit at the like initial stage of the race, and then I think he had a little bit of an issue because like he started to defend his position. So yeah, I was just hoping that the guys behind were just like having a little bit of a fight so that I can pull away by 3 seconds, which was giving me a comfortable
In
distance
both
gap.
races, second, third, and fourth was just unbelievable. You'll have to watch it back because they were just fighting away. In the second race, again, they were doing rather well together. But you'll have to watch it. It's a very good race. You did exceptionally well there today. And
Yeah, thank you a lot.
2 races complete. Next time we're at Nürburgring. What are your thoughts there? Oh no, Hungaro.
On Hungaroring, I think that the Porsche, the car that I drive, feels very strong on this car just because of like the smooth like line corners on the track, and also like the straight line speed is not crucial because we've got only one straight where the overtaking is possible. And what remark I can make is that on Hungaroring it's exceptionally hard to overtake. So the result in the qualifying will be very important for like the entirety of the race.
Oh, that's good.
So I will try to prepare for the qualifying having still that ballast, it will be very hard. But yeah, I won't give up just yet.
Well, no, I can definitely vouch you will not give up, because I've been watching you over the past 5 weeks with these races. You just haven't given up, sir. So hats off to you. Well done. You've got to be first now in the standings.
I don't think so, because in the other races I've got a little bit officious. But yeah, like I think the fight till the end of the season will be very tight.
Yes, I think it will. You must be getting close to the front now. We'll have another check. So yeah, well done, sir.
I think currently in the standings, Mills and Branches pulled away significantly. And I also like missed my race, so I didn't score any points.
I don't know.
Where
Yeah,
the attendance is also crucial in the sprint series. But what I'm hoping for is just like a good chunk of close, neck to neck racing,
Yep.
because that's what people watching us wanna see.
Well, we're definitely getting that. We are definitely getting that. It's going up week by week. The field gets stronger and stronger week by week. So, which is good. And also, we'll give you your second advert of the day for the driving school. So you're going to still be doing your driving school while preparing for Ungaro next week, yeah?
Absolutely.
Well,
So yeah, all the things are just I try to focus on a lot of things. So both on testing, driving school. So if whoever wants to get some tips how to drive some of the cars, especially Porsche, I especially encourage Porsche drivers to take some driving lessons, because that might help all of the people know how to actually extract some pace from a car which doesn't seem to be that strong, especially on Spa, just because of its of the poor straight line speed, which is I personally I think a joke compared to the other cars. But yeah, if you just like
you
are
seem
able
to
to
be
squeeze out
doing
the
okay
performance
today,
out of the
mate.
car, yeah,
You
it's
definitely
mostly about
seem...
the driver, not about the car. So just keep it in mind.
Well, thank you very much for your time. You can now go and relax, have a
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
of
that's
some
what I'm hoping
sort,
for.
and we will probably speak to you later.
Oh yeah, thank you
Okay.
for.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, cheers.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, Shiv, who's next?
So we've got Danny,
Right, all
or
yours.
rather, sorry, not Danny, Brennis.
Right, all
Brennis.
yours.
All right. Brennis, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear
Hey,
me?
how's it going? You all right? Yeah, all good.
Yeah, all good. Yeah.
So, what do you think of that?
It was a shame I made a mistake in the second race, which unfortunately cost
Oh yeah.
me opportunity to battle for the win. And then in the
Yeah,
first race,
we.
go on.
No, I didn't say anything. Go on.
And in the first race, I made some mistake with my setup. For some reason, I just had the what do you call it? The preset safe setup, and I had just no
Yeah,
bump at
yeah.
all.
Well, whatever you did in the
That's,
change definitely worked. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise coming into Rouge on the second lap, second race, and the car just gripped so much more, and I hit the curb on the inside, and then just went.
Shiv?
Indeed. No, I didn't know really what else to say other than just well done to keep on racing. It's just that the dedication is still there, and though you made a mistake, it's good that you were still on track really. So
How many races is this you've done with us now?
I think this is the second race only in the sprint series. Haven't been
It's not-
able to
not too bad.
participate in the others. Yes.
Oh,
So hopefully I will be at
Yeah.
in Hungary next week.
that'll be perfect. Because if you fight the way you did today, we are going to see some very good racing from you, and for that, I thank you in advance.
Yeah,
Dave?
and
Indeed.
hopefully looking forward to fight Stasek for the next one.
Good. Anything
That'd be
from
great.
you, Shiv, before we say goodbye?
Nope,
So-
that's really about it.
Well, thank you for your time, Brennis, and hopefully we'll speak to you again next week. Enjoy,
thank you,
enjoy
and-
the
Indeed,
practice.
that'd be great.
Thanks.
Looking forward to some good races.
Oh, I think we're going to get them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, cool.
Is there anybody else?
That's
That's it.
nope. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Right, well, folks, if you're still here after all that time, I've got to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for your input that you've given us today. Telling us when we're wrong, pointing out when we're missing. But thank you. It's been
Thank you,
fun.
commentator says.
Yep. Well, I've got to say the biggest thank you, of course, goes to all the races that we've seen today. Congratulations to Stazak on both his wins. But overall, I think you will all agree with me. Today, we had some very, very good racing, and it can only get better. That's the good thing about
Indeed,
this.
it can.
So,
Indeed.
Shiv,
I'd-
any final thoughts before we go?
No. Just I need to get a lozenge. That's something I need to do.
You're going to have to learn to start to breathe. I swear. Right. Other than that, folks, as I said before, we are Hungaro next week. Same time, same place on Twitch, but with Hungaro. What's it going to be? Are we going to see another Starshag? Or are we going to see some of the new ones come in and give him a bit more
I think we're
of
gonna
a threat? Go on.
for sure we're gonna see some of the new ones. I think because Hungaroring is wildly different to Spa. It's a very high tire wear track, so a lot of people who are gonna manage their tire wear are gonna be the ones that definitely will be the most beneficiary. And there's also like really like is again like Spa. It's like a mixture of Spa, like very high speed corners and then very low speed corners. So it's gonna be interesting. I really think that yes, Stajak will be up there for sure, but we'll definitely see the likes of Brunschitz, and we'll definitely see the likes of Brenham and even Surprise maybe. Who knows? You know, because I think the Hungaroring is such a track that it's going to be quite interesting to see who gets there. So definitely we're going to see someone new for sure. I'll put money on it if I really have to.
Well,
But yeah,
let's see. So
good.
thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your days of today's Saturday. Have a good one, and we'll see you again. Same
Have a good
time, same place, next week. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you.